Hari Om Namaste Chandreshi.
No, say,
Yes, yes. All
Hariom.
right. Let us begin with the invocation.
Okay.
Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhe Bhavatu Me Sada Vasudevam Sudam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Vande Jagatgurum Krishna Vande Jagatgurum. Hari Om. Yes.
Hariom.
Can someone recollect what is it that we've seen last? Yes, please. Anybody? Yes, anybody? Anything?
Okay.
Okay, Sureshji,
I'll I'll say
most
what
welcome.
I understood from yesterday's. Krishna continues his wisdom, giving knowledge. He says everything he tells Arjuna, everything you do has a stamp of karma.
Hmm.
Guna, sorry, Guna, stamp of Guna in it. And he also gives knowledge why to extend life, to serve the divine,
Yeah,
to become a good instrument in life. That is more important. And talks about three types of food, three types of yagas, yagnas,
hmm.
offering, and also three types of tapas. We dealt with in detail. I'll not go into each of the everything, each
Okay.
one of those.
Yes, sir.
And in detail with examples you explained yesterday, and
Ji.
it was nice. And it straight away we can get it. Though it looks simple, it's very difficult to practice.
Yeah. Yes,
And
sir.
we also another important learning is about speech
Yeah.
and how to speak with kindness without harming others. That is a very important thing.
Yeah.
And speech is the one main thing for spoiling the interpersonal relationship, especially
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
look from HR angle.
Okay, sir.
That is the main cause for rift and
Yeah.
dis,
Just in
quarrels
discussion
and
or
misunderstanding
misunderstanding.
and things like arguments and things like that.
Okay.
Unable to convey properly what you intend to convey.
Uh,
That causes interpersonal relationship. That was well explained yesterday.
all right, sir. Yes, sir. So,
How to do it is in every chapter, Krishna says one thing you recognize and be conscious. Take it to higher level of consciousness. Being conscious, you can understand everything. That's what is the underlying message in all the chapters of Krishna's.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think,
That's what I understood. Keep
yes.
your mind uh, keep peace of mind, keep your mind clean,
Yeah.
intention clear. That's what yesterday it
Yeah.
was told.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just one small question, Sureshji.
Yeah,
So does that mean when we approach, when we have a speech or do we have to always do it with a motive of getting something in return?
not
Every
necessary. Not
every
necessary. No,
not
we should not do it.
all right, sir. That would be the Sattvic manner, isn't it?
We should not seek any. Without seeking, we have to sacrifice. That's what Krishna has told.
Yes,
Same
yes.
thing. We have to do our karmas without seeking anything.
Yes, yes. It's difficult, but doing or
Yeah,
duty, I think it is a normal thing for everybody. It is not
yeah.
because we are getting something in return. I
Don't ask for it. Let it come to you.
yes,
That's what it will come if you're in. If you're clean, if you're speaking the truth, it will automatically happen. That's what Krishna has told.
yes, yes, absolutely, Suresh. Thank you very much. Because the force of
Uh,
grudges, yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So
this is
again,
little. I don't know whether I'm right in understanding these things.
no, sir, it was perfect, sir. What you were talking, this is a
Okay.
Sattvic, this is a Sattvic
Uh,
approach. The Sattvic guna. has an effect on all the types of actions, whether you are
Yeah.
doing a yajna, whether you are doing a tapa also.
And
Because
everywhere Krishna gives the knowledge. He says
yeah,
what is good, what is right, what is positive, what is negative, and it doesn't force us to choose a particular path, and
yes,
it's left to us to choose our own path
yes,
depending on our own intellect and what we want, what is our intention and things like circumstances.
yes, sir,
That
yes,
is a that is the main lesson, underlying theme I have got from all the lessons so far.
yes. So when Krishna is giving us this much freedom, do we
Yeah,
have to give that much freedom to others? The same freedom that Krishna gives us.
sure.
All right, sir. Yes, sir. Fine,
We
sir.
have to
We have
we
to.
have to be
Difficult.
patient and
It is
patient
difficult.
in
It is
yeah,
difficult
the very
because we
difficult.
have expectations from our near and dear ones. But problem is
And
having alone does not ensure they fulfill them, isn't it? Yeah.
natural instincts take over our
Ah,
mind, and now we convey certain things without knowing anything.
yes, yes,
Consequences we don't understand. We
yes,
are not conscious,
yes,
and
sir.
it comes automatically to all. By nature, it is there in all human beings.
Yes,
Like all the gunas are there in all types of gunas are there
yes,
individual.
absolutely, sir. Very perfectly summarized, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay,
Yes, with this,
thank you for the teachings.
thank you, sir. Shri Krishna. Hari Om. Yes.
Hari Om.
So this is beautiful, isn't it? All three gunas are there. Krishna is not forcing us. Even the ahara. Many times people say, what does Gita say about vegetarian food and non-vegetarian food? Every batch we generally have a debate because Krishna khane pe mat jana. This is my favorite food.
One
Don't come
has
to me.
to
Yeah,
when
but
one has to take.
it is a decision. Just see what you wish. You have to choose.
Yeah, in Parliament also we see discussions taking
Okay, sir.
place
Yeah, yeah.
on this
But
on
those
this
discussions,
non-veg.
we will not look at them because those discussions don't get over in Parliament also.
Yeah, that's true. But the same topic is coming there also.
Okay, sir.
Don't force people to
Ah,
choose a particular type of food, veg or
okay.
non-veg, something
Yes,
like
we'll
something.
slowly move out of the political topic because
Yeah.
that comes
Okay, I
in, there
understand.
is
I
less
understand.
Sattvic and more Rajasic discussion.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
All right, sir.
Taken. Well
Yes,
taken.
sir.
Well taken. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Yes. So, besides,
Let's continue.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, the tapa, even the tapashcharya that you are doing, means people feel that because I'm seeking God, I'm Sattvic. No, I am human being, so I'm Rajasic, Tamasic, Sattvic. All moments will come in my life that will have the stamp, each of these gunas. So, but I have to ensure that I remain as sattvic as possible while seeking the divine, and then go what is beyond sattvic also. Like we saw the limitation of the sattva guna in the chapter of three gunas. So there is something higher. I cannot be trapped in my own goody goody nature that I will not stand up for swadharma because no, I don't like to raise my voice. A lot of people say that. But somebody is doing something wrong to your loved ones, to your near ones, or to you also. That is a time you have to take a stand. And that is exactly what Arjuna was supposed to do. But he forgot it. So this is the delusion. In Arjuna, there was a case of delusion. But in somebody else, there is Rajas. I am only the doer. I am doing so much. I have to do this. See, I spoke so much time with my friend. I invested this much time. I must get that in return. Can we ask this from our teachers in school? Do they ask anything in return from us? They spend so much time on us, isn't it? When we were in school, our teachers would teach same subject. Boring, it would be like third standard teacher is remaining in third standard only, isn't it? Students are changing, but they keep teaching with such sincerity. Nowadays, some of the teachers said, I am paying fee, is what some of the students are telling. So you have to do it. I don't think it is. That is what we can say, very lower economics, isn't it? There is something higher. And the students are not receiving, then the child is not receiving it. That is why the child is trying to equate it with something. And that's quite a Rajasic tendency, where we try to everything. I say a nice word, even to my loved one, I give an appreciation. Why? You're looking very good. I'm saying this because I want to return. That person should tell I'm looking good. My dress is right. Or my thought is very good. I really appreciate you. So here, this is the problem. This is actually unstable. Even tapa, when you are doing, imagine a yogi doing wonderful dhyana, and every 30 seconds his one eye is opening and seeing, is anybody watching me? How am I looking? Do I look like a Brahma Rishi? Or do I look like just a beginner? I need to look even more sincere. Sometimes people do japa mala also. It is something. Krishna says it is one of the very high sadhanas in the Gita also. But it can be done secretly also. It can be done silently also. Japa is the repetition of the chant silently. Sometimes people say don't just speak mantras, hear the mantras. Here, I mean, Shruti can come from a higher plane also, like all the great rishis were able to. Some of them were able to see the words. They call them the drashtas. Actually, the mantras which they received, they were actually receiving it like that. So, but some they do it just to show others. That is unstable, that type of sadhana. Many times you will see on the stage also, some people are attending a function, say a prize distribution or something. There also they take out the mala and they show on the stage so all the eyes can see how holy and sacred they are. Now you have come to a kshetra for doing a work. Of course, I'm not giving any commentary, but sometimes it becomes very funny. Then they try to do one more step. I don't want your bad nazar. So they use a kerchief to cover their hand. In under the kerchief, they are doing the same thing. It's all visible. Some of the sadhanas are to be done silently. It is said to be as secret as some of the most intimate things in our life. We don't talk about it with everybody, isn't it? In public. That is how our adhyatma also should be, and it should not be done just for return. Hey Bhagwan, I'm doing this much prayer for you. You give this to me in return. It's all right. Give me what you want to give. My love is so pure. I don't think even Bhagwan can return that beautiful love I'm offering full sincerity and purity. Because it's invaluable. If you give me, it is an ashirvad, whatever I get. But I cannot equate it. I can't bring it into the market and encash it and reduce its value. That is what happens many times. We even reduce our own self-worth with people because of expectations. So a sattvic tapa does not have that. Same in the sattvic tapa is made of three types: sharira tapa, mano tapa, and vak tapa. Manas tapa is the tapa of the mind, appearance of the mind, meaning very peaceful in the outside, inside only swear words. There are people like that also, very frustrated on the inside. My sister, I remember she had gone for a business meeting and she was able to very nicely talk to the other lady and she was who was trying to squeeze out a very good deal. But my sister was very calm, very sattvic in her approach, very quietly, all discussions, negotiations. No, no, beyond this percentage, it's not possible, without having to say very harshly. And Damliji also was nearby, so she was also having the pressure and she was not able to reveal her real inner side. So she was very frustrated. She did not get what she wanted out of it. And the moment Damliji went out of the room, she actually stretched her two hands up to my sister's neck. It's like, you got a good deal. But that force was so much, and my sister was also laughing afterwards because she really wanted to wring my neck because she was not successful. So, what is happening here? Mind is thinking something else. But that does reflect. People think I am thinking something in my mind, it will not appear on my speech. It's wrong. What is in your mind, what is in the back of your mind automatically reflects. Somebody who is conscious can see that also. A yogi is having the same thing in the heart, same thing in the mind, and same thing in the tongue. On the tip of the tongue, the same word is going. So there's like a union. So the shabdas don't remain shabdas, they become mantras. They become powered by consciousness, a higher consciousness. Otherwise, there is full loss of consciousness only. Mind thinking one thing, heart thinking the other, tongue is speaking a third, and nobody knows who is at fault. Mind is blaming the heart is blaming the mind, or the tongue is saying, I did not tell anything, you people only are creating the trouble. So nobody knows. We cannot say that. How many times we say, I didn't mean to say this? Anybody? Have you used this dialogue? I didn't mean.
It happens regularly.
It happens regularly. But how can
Ah,
we not mean? As in, is some force working through us, sir? Somebody is having a remote control and then making us speak, or it is we who are speaking, isn't it? But the consciousness is not there, so our words are unclear. Most of the time, it is the emotions which make us say that, isn't it, sir?
yes. And
Absolutely.
in communication skills, they say what you think comes out in what you speak is what
Yes,
you're thinking, basically.
yes,
In
yes,
negotiation skill, they use that. What you say is what you're thinking,
yes,
basically.
yes,
They
yes,
use that and try to other party takes advantage of that.
yes, yes. Big, big criminals are negotiated and then they reveal
Ah.
their crime.
In
They will
movies also we have seen that.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. And in the investigations as well. So this is something. So again, it is all three. Sharira tapa is a tapa which is done by making the body also participate, not just the mind. That is why people go to Guru Gruha. Just yesterday, I had a very nice talk about, I had a good chance to read about Sri Aurobindo's evening talks with my teacher, where some of the very senior sadhaks, they would stay, they would have what we call Guru Gruha Vasa. Means they would stay with the Guru because they wanted morning, evening, night, all the time they wanted to do Sharira Tapa also, a part which was essential because they felt they could understand, learn, and grow. So again, in our lives, let us include a Shariradapa. Shariradapa does not mean just leaving everything and going also. But let your body also participate. You have a garden. Do some gardening there in the house. Do it as an offering. Become conscious. Look at the plants. Look, that is again a Chaitanya inside of the plants also. Experience that. Experience, connect. Namaji says you should have a connection with the all three kingdoms also. Plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom. This link must be there. Then only your life will be complete. So interact with the plants. See what big lifestyles or ecosystems are at play. Inside a small pot also, you may think it's just one plant, but if you look closely, you'll see small little insects, different types of insects according to the season, so many changes taking place. So this consciousness is important. And Sharira Tapa, well, it's always nice to engage in it. If you are not, means we say we get a job and I do my work, I do Loka Sangraha through my job. Many people say that dialogue. But are we not getting something in return for the job that we are doing? Yes. So apart from that, take some time out. How much ever time? It doesn't matter. The time is not mentioned. As Krishna, as Sureshji also said, nothing is ordered, nothing is enforced, but self-discipline must develop inside of a person. So take some time out. There's an NGO next to your home. Just go visit there once a while. Do some service, or there's some ashram somewhere nearby. Go to the ashram. Do offer some service there, just without asking anything. And I really tell you, for me, my best experiences, best friends I got in life by just doing something unknowingly only. Suddenly, we saw one place, one old age home wanted somebody to clear the garden. And I got such a good bunch of friends just by putting a message that somebody who wants to come. I didn't know who is going to come. We didn't know each other, and we all connected together for cleaning up that home. And that was such a nice experience, and now that bond has remained. So this aspect of growth is important. Sharir Tapa is important. So, Suresh, you want to say something? Yes, sir.
Yeah, a research study was conducted in
Okay.
some abroad,
Okay.
not here. Community service is the best way of teaching teamwork.
Ah, true,
They
true.
concluded that scientific study
Yes.
was in the
Because
organization. That's in organization they encourage people to do team
okay.
department to go and do together,
Ah,
go and do community service.
yes, yes.
That is the best way to learn teamwork
Yes, yes,
than
that
classroom
there's no
lecture.
swartha there, isn't it? There's no swartha. There is
Yeah.
no selfishness. There's no
Yes.
something I do this because I'm going to get in return.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. And there's a punishment also in abroad to come offering community service for people who do crimes. At least that way they will, with doing sharirik tapa, they will learn, they will improve. So that way it is there. Yes. So the three tapas are there. So in our sadhana, we need tapabala. Tapabala will help us. It's like vehicle needs fuel. Our sadhana needs tapasya to move ahead. And there is no limit to the destination. We decide I want to go to this particular place. Somebody will say, Chalo, theek hai. I just want to go somewhere. I want to go to Ernakulam from Pondicherry. Fine. Somebody will say, I want to go to Kerala. I want to go closer in. I want to go to the southernmost tip. I'll go to Kanyakumari. Someone will say, I want to go to Sri Lanka. Means that limit is not there in sadhana also. That you must go this way. And the best part is There is no specific mental logic that level 1, level 2, like we have games, isn't it? You improve according to one stage. Here, suddenly from level 1, you can rise to level 100, real, just conscious awakening. We do not know what other levels we have already covered in our previous janma, previous experiences. We just have to become conscious. Sometimes we are just one step away from awakening. We do not know that. To till that comes, we have to practice sadhana, and the tapabal is necessary. So then we saw about ahar, yukta ahara viharasya. The right ahar must be taken. The yogi is the one who takes the right ahar, the food also consciously. We've seen three types of food: sattvic food, rajasic food, and tamasic food. Actually, each food has its own place in our life. Sometimes we say rajas is, we say, garlic is very rajasic. It should not be taken at all. Many people say that. But in Ayurveda, garlic is also a source of natural steroids. And for some medicines, people, when they have kapha dosha, they are asked to use garlic in their food at that particular time. So what we are trying to say is, no, we're not discussing about what food you should eat or what not eat. Become conscious. Your body will tell you what you need, how much you need. The quantity of food also, I don't think you should decide just superstitiously because of some custom somebody has imposed on you. Experience, become conscious, and choose the food that is going to keep you fresh. Choose the food that's going to keep you healthy. Choose the food that's going to help you go ahead and sadhana. And just like that, there is the dana as well. So donation, this is also one more part of life. Dana must be done. Somebody will say, I don't have money. Students will say, I don't have money. So can I go and take money from my parents and go and donate? No, you're not earned it, isn't it? It is theirs. They have earned it. So what is your job as a student? You can learn. You can grahan. You have to get vidya. And then there's vidya dana also, isn't it? Share it with your friends. Share your understanding. Don't worry that, Arey, my friend may get 1.2 percentages more than me, or may get 2 marks, 3 marks more than me. I have to beat my friend. No, that's not, that's a very narrow-minded attitude. Learn because you have to learn and grow. So share with your friends. And the best part of vidya dana is what? The more you share, more it grows, isn't it? That is Vidyadana. Something like that. Then there is Shrama Dana. Somebody needs help. Are your neighbor only just look out, you see some elderly person is there and he's never asking for help. Why? Because everybody has a Swabhiman, isn't it? But that does not mean you cannot see if the help is needed or not. So go and ask, can I please let me? Of course, it is their right to help or accept it or deny. But somewhere where help is required, sometimes people build biggest bungalows and just opposite to the bungalow there is trash. That's not my property. So I'll not clean it. But you have invested so much in beautifying your property and you're not going to look at what you are seeing every day, every morning, afternoon, evening. Why is that? Somewhere understand you have to do so. Take a broom, take something, go clean your own backyard. Because many times it is said, cleaning up the world begins by cleaning up your own backyard. You want to clean the world, you want to change the world, start first by changing yourself. Then the world will get transformed. You become awakened, create a circle of consciousness around you, and slowly that will spread. That will spread. That is how all yogis have set up their yoga sadhana and margas, and they have made panthas, paths. They were the pathfinders, and then lot of people tread on that path, which has been found by great sacrifice. So become that is what Krishna is asking Arjuna also. Arjuna, become the source of inspiration. Yes. So now, if you see this Sattva Dana, we look at it, we saw the qualities. It looks at Desha, Kala, and Patra. Means which is the place where it is done, then at what time it is done, and whether the person is worthy or recipient. Many people say, I'll do donation because ATG exemption. It will help in tax, saving of tax. Well, that's fine. You want to save your tax, all right. But that should not be the only. I mean, any NGO, no problem. Give me ATG certificate. That's enough. Many people say that. But no, become conscious just because you're getting a certificate. Can you give it to a terrorist organization and then say, oh, I don't know. I didn't know about it. No, that time you will not be able to escape. Forget whether you are able to very nicely respond to the notice from the ED or somebody else. Even if you're able to respond, in your heart, will you be able to respond? Yeah, Arey, what have I done with this money? I supported a cause which is causing more disturbance to the world. Again, that's an association, isn't it? Wrong association. You are getting part of it. So be careful where you are. Carefully donate. Become understand where your monies are going, because money is also a very important commodity in this bhuloka, and it is a manifestation of goddess Lakshmi. Right people get it, can use really good works. They can do right things. Even little amount is sufficient for bringing about big transformation. But in wrong places, you put even so much excess also, it goes nowhere. So become conscious. That is something which we have to understand. So dana must be done at the right place, at the right time, and at the right moment when a person needs. It's like you go to one particular NGO. There was one, somebody had asked, "Will you do some donation of sweets?" A person for the children. They said, "No, I'll not do it." And then the news comes that the founder has passed away. And then this person says, "Come, I'm going to give sweets. I'll distribute sweets today to everybody." That's an insult, isn't it? It is not a dana. At a time when everybody is feeling sad and they are mourning, that time going and distributing sweets when there is no celebration at all there. It, again, you're unconscious. So many times we do dana, we don't realize where we are doing. So let us become conscious, because it's a responsibility. I am in a position to give itself is a great opportunity, isn't it? We have to feel grateful, that not become superior because I am giving this. I have given so much to this particular organization. Now this organization must act according to my wishes, according to my whims. That's not sattvic, that is rajasic. Let us look at the next type of dana, which is the rajasic dana. यत् यत्तु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलमुद्दिश्य वा पुनः दीयते च परिक्लिष्टं तद्दानसं rajasam smritam. A donation in rajas is said to be effected when unwillingly or with ego it is executed, with hopes of return is its initiation itself, and it causes violence or harm to oneself. Many times, this kind of rajasic dana is harmful. We do not realize it. Why? Because it is driven by ego. It is driven to show you are not capable, to show the other person is incapable. I am so and so, I am so strong. I am going to get this much in return. The work may be net positive outcome, maybe this much, but the projection of it would be so much more than the net outcome. That is Rajasic Dana. I think we must all have come across it sometime or somewhere. Somebody comes to help us. You feel, Arey, yaar, why did this person come to help? It's created more entanglements than, I had one knot. After this person entered into the picture, and there are so many more now. And yet this person is going telling everybody, I helped this person. That is why this person has become like this because of me. Well, it's absolute Rajas. It is absolute Rajas. Satvik Dana is done and dusted. Over. Never again remembered by the person. The donor doesn't remember what he has done, but the recipient is eternally grateful for it. That is Satvik Dana. It does not need to have some kind of proof or some kind of, you know, what we can say, returns. But Rajas is an investment, Rajasic Dana. It's like I did this so that I get this coverage. I did this so that these many people talk about me. I did this because I get something in return. Everything is done with this. It is not donation, isn't it? It is not donation then. It is like people go to PR agencies. They give money, and then their job is, that is their dharma. They are doing it. But that is not called donation. It is called like getting services in return. Well, this is exactly something like that. It is not a donation. It is not a proper dana, which is rajasic. Many times it creates disturbance. Many times rajasic dana causes harm even to the donor. In the village, a person tried to show how much wealth he had. He had got the wealth from somewhere. Not everybody knows. But the fact that he has got so much wealth, he wanted to show off a little portion of it. For some reason, he could not, hold it. So he wanted to do something to the society. And he said, let me show how great I am to the village. And as that person started doing, a lot of people came to know about him. And then some eyes, You know what we say, buri nazar, no? Some thieves also felt this person has a lot of money because there was so much show. And then there was a robbery, and then everybody found out nothing was stolen because there was nothing inside. The same person who was showing so much out, like I am like this, I am like that. Now, what has he done? He has invited wrong forces unnecessarily. It's not required. It's not required. You don't need to. The good that you do should be like how Damleji says, Neki kar, darya mein dal. Means take a stone, throw it into the ocean. Can you recollect the stone after you have thrown it to the ocean? No. And how much do you have to do? Keep doing as many stones as you find. Throw. Children like to throw it into the ocean, isn't it? They enjoy it. The feeling of throwing one rock into the ocean. They imagine that the sea level is going to rise because of those rocks. But we don't know. In our life, keep doing virtuous things. Who knows what will be its consequence? Because our job is not to sit and calculate. That day I gave one pencil to my friend in when I was in class 3E. That is my punya. Punya number one, punya number two. Who is going to do that? Sant Gnaneshwar says, Hari mukhe mana, punyachi ganana, kona kari. Who is going to do the calculation? That headache, let it go to our Chitra Gupta, divine accountant. He will keep the calculation. Our job is to just keep doing, keep doing. Why? Gautam Buddha has also talked about accumulation of virtue. If like it's like an imaginary patra, one vessel, it is getting full with elixir, which is rising, 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 and then what's going to happen? It will start overflowing, isn't it? And who will receive it? Then the world will receive that elixir which has been rising, rising. Or they say accumulation of virtue is the basic requirement for the blossoming of the inner lotus. One of the important aspects of the Lotus Sutra is that only. Dhyana on the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, but your karma should also equally match. So keep doing. There are so many people who have done extraordinary things. Just what by what? Driven by the divine, just serving. And that is how we should do. But Rajas is sometimes harmful. We must be careful. We don't have to invite unknowing, what we unknowingly invite difficulties into our life. That is Rajas. Then there is something called tamasic dana. Just like how we saw tamasic yajna. Mantrahinam, Vidihinam, Bhaktihinam, everything. That is the mantra. There is no mantra in the yajna. That is tamasic. The scriptures say sit down. He'll say, no, I'll lie down. Asan, I don't need asan. Everywhere. He say you have to offer do something, some dana must be done as part of the yajna ritual, give a dakshina. He say, no, I don't need to give dakshina. What about prasada? No prasada in my place. I don't believe in it. Then why do it? There's no point, isn't it? But tamasic actions are pointless. Nobody can try to understand the logic and waste time trying to explain or understand the like the reason for. Can you say, I need to understand when I say everybody now it's good morning and I say good night? What will you say? Oh, let me understand why is it good night right now? No, not at all. This is a satya, isn't it? Satya is, it is a universal truth. It is morning right now in India, where I am in Pondicherry. It is bright sunlight, and all over India, we know this is morning time. So I am in delusion, then there's no point in understanding what is the delusion or trying to logically justify it. Many times, let us see, let us identify. No, tamasic is like that. When we understand tamas, take one step back. It is tamas. Don't try to explain by logic. Because rajas you can easily say by logic also. Means instead of selfless, this will be selfish because of the force. But tamasic would be like very confusing. You'll never be able to understand. Sometimes by default, the person may do something right and then suddenly wrong, and you will not be able to understand its functioning because it is completely driven by a whim of a lower force, which is called the tamo guna. So that tamo guna affects the dana also. Krishna says, Adeshe kale yad danam apatrebhyascha diyate asatkritam avajñatam tat tamasam udahritam. A gift of charity in tamas is said to be done when ignoring the time, place, and object it is done. To the receiver's emotions without showing any empathy, with ill will and despise, such a giving is unworthy, is the most unworthy of donation. So the landlord is there. The farmer goes and asks him, please give me some seeds. He says, no, come later. When should I come? Come again next month. Month? But he says, yeah, I'll give you free seeds. Again, this person goes to get the seeds. Again, he says, no. So 1 month passes, 2 months passes, 3 months pass, and the seed of the sowing season is gone, isn't it? And our agricultural economy is very much dependent on the seasons. We require the rains to grow certain plants. Just irrigation is not sufficient. Another problem is when the rains fall untimely. They ruin the crop. All the efforts go waste. So what happens then? This person gives at the wrong time when already all the farmers have already sown their seeds and they have started to grow. This person is going to plant the seeds because he has got it just at the wrong time. Is this a worthy donation? It is unworthy, absolutely. It is not giving any respect to the person. It is not giving, it is just done for the sake of doing without any intention except to harm the other person, making fun of the emotions of that person without showing any sympathy. It's got ill will, it is despised, it is absolutely unworthy because it is not seen the kala, the desha, and the patra. This is what we call the tamasik dana. It is something which people do. One very means many times we don't understand. We just feel just because I'm doing donation, I'm now on the good books of the divine because they feel I'm earning extra brownie points or punya points, whatever membership they have subscribed to. I do not know, but it is wrong when you do unconsciously any act. Even the dana can become wrong, like we saw in Kathopanishad, isn't it? The Yama and Nachiketa story. We had a reference how Nachiketas' father Aruni Rishi, how he started giving cows which are old, cows which have eaten too much of grass now that they have gone so old that their milk production is not going to happen. This cow is going to pass away very quickly. This is not a dana which you can give to somebody who is very sincerely with great emotions expecting that I'll get that. It's like giving a bike to somebody, selling a bike which is not working only. Somehow let it work till the point I'm going to sell it. What's going to happen? Will that give happiness to the person who has purchased it? Not at all. Instead, you will be receiving curses throughout your life. You'll be wondering, why am I getting hiccups? Somebody is remembering. No, somebody is not remembering. Somebody is cursing from another place continuously what this person did, what this person did. So at least we must do enough work in life that we don't receive curses, isn't it? Let us do our work and go on. Let's not invite the unnecessary lower negative forces against us. And a lot of times people do that. Tamasik dana. Now, my mother had shared her experience of going to a particular ashram, and I'll not name the place, of course. I do not want to. But there, the Adipati, the Mathadipati in that ashram, he was sitting the mother felt very peaceful, very calm, just looking at him, and everybody went to take a darshan, and she was very happy. A small child came in front of her only. That small child was playing with her, and with that, the yogi there, and it looked very sweet. And suddenly, two forces, she said, she actually used the word, it was like two forces of rajas are suddenly coming, and then he stopped playing with the child. They were the parents of the child. And the mother says, ये गुरुजी ये ठीक नहीं है. आप बच्चों को इतना प्यार दे रहे हो, हमें कुछ नहीं मिलता है. आप You are giving so much love to this child, but I am not getting that. We are not. I am feeling jealous of. My mother is jealous of child. She's telling that to the Guruji. Then the Guruji also smiles. You see how look at Sattva Guna in the speech, no penance of speech. He has to teach. He has to teach what is wrong. But he is now keeping that man. He said, नहीं नहीं आप तो हमें पाल रहे हो. That one dialogue he said, my mother felt shocked. She felt disturbed. How can and the other two immediately had a very long face and they just shook their head and then they walked away. But mother felt this is so sad that because that organization, these persons have done so much dana that they feel they have the adhikar. They have adhikar over the guru also there. Is it possible like that? Can somebody have over Vidya? What is the adhikar? Can we have knowledge because we have invested so much money in an organization? I go to a particular college, I've paid this much fees. Does make a person does it give a guarantee that you will receive the wisdom? No, it does.
No.
No, no, not at all. We need that adhikara. We have to learn and we have to get it. When the adhikara is there, knowledge will flow from any direction. Ano bhadraha kritavanto. It is from all directions. It will flow into that person when the person becomes the adhikari. So this is important, but desha, kala, patra must be seen. That is why your donations also, be careful when you are making the donations, because many times we don't realize the force of rajas comes into it. We get excited. Hey, I just got this much money. I want to donate it quickly, and then suddenly, no, I want to do this. But if you do this to me, you add riders, you add something, you go to help also with conditions. Every help also you add clauses to it. That is not selfless. That is selfish because I know what is better for you. Why do I know better? Because now I have money, you don't have money. So what I have, that means I'm better than you. That bhava must not come. Is on like Gita says, we're all on the same plane. Nobody is better, nobody is worse. Krishna can work through you, Krishna can work through me, Krishna can work through all of us as well. So we have to become conscious of that. Next, Krishna goes on. Now comes the important aspect. It is like a mantra Deeksha which Krishna is given. In many people in the Tantra Marga also worship Krishna, isn't it? They consider Ma Kali as a what we can say Krishna roop of Ma Kali also, and then they worship her as Krishna Kali. So here we see a beautiful triple mantra that Krishna is giving. So if we do not have a guru, we have never received guru mantra, we want a mantra for sadhana, hold on to this shloka. Hold on to this shloka. Invoke Krishna. Probably tell Krishna, please whisper into the ear. I'm going to, stretch my ear. The guru whispers the mantra in the ear, isn't it? Just like that. Get it directly sakshat from Yogeshwara himself. What is it? Let us see. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmanas smrutah brahmanastena vedascha yajnascha vihitah pura. Many eons ago, this triple formula was conceived. By the same sacrifice, the Vedic wisdom was received. The mantra Om Tat Sat, with Om, the primordial syllable, Tat, the eternal Brahman, Sat is the highest truth cognizable. So if you just want to meditate this triple mantra, Om Tat Sat, this is a very powerful one. One of the newest Upanishads that the world received, Sri Aurobindo's Upanishad begins with this mantra. Om Tat Sat Yach Satchidevam Tachinmaya Tad Anandamayo Nadyantaha Sanatano Bhagwan. Means this Om Tat Sat is that mantra. It's a very powerful one. Again, mantras, you don't have to write the meanings of mantras. You have to experience it. You have to live it. And people have experienced the awakenings through mantras also. And here Krishna has himself given to it. So if you are wondering which japa should I do, just try sit down. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Watch, and get your own lived experience. Why do you want to eat from somebody else's plate? Cook your own food. Enjoy the dish that you like in your own plate. As simple as that. Here we have a mantra from Krishna. Om Tat Sat. It's given to all of us. तस्मादोमिति उदाहृत्य यज्ञदान तपः क्रियाः प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ता सततम brahmavadinam. That is why the knowers of the Vedic sciences chant and meditate, and all sacrifices, offerings, and actions with Om they initiate. By the principles of the scriptures they firmly stand, and the meanings of their procedures they understand. So Krishna says this. He says, that is why those who know the Vedic sciences, who have understood the Adhyatma Vidya, that is why they meditate, that is why they begin all their yajna, all their dana, all their karma with Om as the beginning. Om is that Brahmanad. Om iti etadaksharam sarvam tasyopavyakhyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvam omkarameva. Mandukya Upanishad, it talks about Om as everything. That is why they begin with Om. The Om is the Nad of the creation. They understand the principles of the scriptures and the meanings, the reason why. Om is something. Om is actually a vehicle. It is a sound of higher consciousness. If you see, Santa Jnaneshwar described Om as three types. I mean, in the three parts, just like in Mandukya Upanishad. And in that, he saw the Omkara Rupa of Ganesha. Akara, Means it's like uma, isn't it? Three parts of Om. So akara charana yugula, ukara udara vishala, makara mahamandala mastakakare. So the full Ganesha's shape itself is Om only, is what. And who is Ganesha? Our Bhagwan of learning, the, the first Deva who is by the Dwar of wisdom, who opens the doors of wisdom into our life. We receive by his prasada, by his grace. That is why we always initiate everything with a Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, isn't it? Most mantras are initiated with an offering to Ganesha, because the Ganesha is the first opening for wisdom. And Om is also again the first mantra of the Om, first part of the Om Tat Sat. And Krishna says, those who have understood the highest Vidya, they begin everything with Om, Hari Om, Om, because they become conscious of that. That is why Om Tat Sat is said to be the mantra which gave the Vedic wisdom. How is it possible? I think we'll have to see it. Let us see. Probably, if you want to, we can have a discussion after the mantras description is completed by Krishna. Tat iti anabhisandhaya phalam yajna tapah kriyaha dana kriyascha vividhaha kriyante mokshakankshibihi. Tat, that is concentrated upon profusely without seeking any fruits. It is pronounced verily, just like that. Tat, by the awakened seekers of liberation during penance, offering, and sacrificial action. Tat. Anybody knows the meaning of this word tat in Sanskrit? Tat. Yes? Anyone?
You?
Wo.
Okay, Aditi ji says you. All right. Anybody
Oh,
else?
so, that is that.
That,
Absolutely. Perfectly. Yes, yes, that. But Tat Kim, what is that? That is Brahman. Tat Brahman. So Tat is equate, like in algebra we have no, X, Y, Z. X is conveying something, Y is conveying something else. So what is the use in algebra for all these variables? Why do we use them? Because they help us to get into an equation, isn't it? Immediately, X may not mean number of apples, number of oranges. We do not know. First, solve the equation and then understand. Or sometimes to solve, understand the truth, we use these equations. Something like that. This tat tat tvamasi. What is that? That is the Brahman. So recognize that. Maybe in your dhyana, focus when you say tat, try to connect with the Brahman. Who knows, Brahma Vidya may just appear, because Brahma Vidya cannot come without Guru's Ashirvad. That is truth. Means it will just, otherwise intellectual analysis only takes place, as Sri Aurobindo would call intellectual gymnastics, people going in circles. So if you understand, place Krishna, if you don't have a Guru and you place your Aradhya Krishna or Ishta Deva in Guru Sthana, and then focus with full sincerity, who knows, you might actually get the experience of joy of connecting with what is the Brahma Vidya as well. Suddenly, it is so beautiful when you suddenly understand, ki, wow, we are really consciously all connected. At a moment you become conscious, it is an experience of joy, it's an experience of a lifetime to experience that. So use that tat, equate it to the Brahman, because tat is that. Tat tvamasi, skoham, soham, aham brahmasmi realization, all these will come when we experience a taste of that, what we call this consciousness. Young Sant and Anishwar had realized it at a very early age, very, very early age. That is why people started calling him Mauli or Mother. At the age of 21, he attained his Samadhi, just at 21. But even now, elderly people also, all the ones, they go and they call his name even before calling the name of Vithala. In the Varkari Sampradaya also. Jnanoba Mauli, Tukaram. They go on with the names like that only. First, the names, because this was how he was. He was a mother. He became a mother because he got what we call Amrit Anubhav. Amrit Anubhav is the Anubhav of that consciousness which benefited so many people, so many people. People go now also, like it's a very sacred place, Arandi. There they go there to receive the wisdom. I also, my Guruji had actually taken me, and I really knew this is great deficiency of wisdom. I need to get it, so best get it from Arandi. And there I was told that there's Ajan Vriksha, the Vriksha on which his Samadhi, on that Samadhi has, I mean, the tree has grown. So it was said, if you get one leaf also from it and you eat it, your intelligence will grow. Somebody will say it's ritual. But for me, I was like, no problem. If it is, or it is not, I know. And I thought one leaf will not do. हमें तो veterinary dose चाहिए. We will need extra. So I tried. I just was running around, just walking around, waiting for a leaf to fall because I didn't want dried leaf. I wanted a fresh leaf. And so, yeah, it is wrong, but that was at that time I was quite young. So actually went and then plucked one leaf also, which we're not supposed to do. I got scoldings from someone, but I didn't return the leaf that I plucked. I ate it. And actually after that, I would say Guru Kripa or Nanava Mauli's Kripa, whatever happened. After that, I could study the Gita after that only. So this aspect of connecting, the aspect of connecting with a higher consciousness is important. The madhyam is which it can be anything. It can be anything for you. But use it. So this mantra, Om Tat Sat, Om is that Nad, the Nad of Brahma, the Nad of creation. Next is come Tat. Tat is the Brahman himself. So that is one. Then comes the next, the third part. Sadbhave, Sadhu Bhave, Chasad Ityetat प्रयुज्यते प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा सत् शब्दः पार्थ युज्यते. Sat is the all-pervading goodness in existence and is the ultimate truth significance. O Arjuna, the word Sat is used to define the best amongst existences, supremely fine. So what is Sat? Sat is that connection of Sattva, of truth, of Satya, the Ritam, the highest consciousness. Well, the essence of that truth, that is Sat, is what Krishna says. All pervading goodness in the existence. It's the ultimate truth significance. Why? Because this beauty is something which we have to realize in the creation only, isn't it? Jagadapi Brahma Satyam Namithya is what Sri Aurobindo has said. Saeva Paratparaha Purushas So this divine is there in this Srishti. As we saw Vibhuti Darshana. Anybody, what was the reason for Vibhuti Darshana? If Arjuna wanted to know, isn't it? He said, Krishna, tell me about your Vibhutis. Can anybody hamper a guess or like why did Arjuna want it? The Vibhuti Darshana. He asks a question also before asking the Vibhuti Darshana. Tell me, Krishna. The more I receive, better. Anybody? Was it because he wanted something he can relate to in the Bhuloka about the divine? Anybody? Something about Vibhuti Darshana, if you can recollect. What was it about? Just before the Vishwarupa, we had seen that there was an entire chapter on Vibhuti Darshana. Yes? Anybody?
I think he had asked what he can meditate upon, probably which form he can meditate upon, and then what are the different. I mean, what are you can say, manifestations
Yes.
in this Srishti. Yeah, he wanted to know that. I think.
Perfectly said. Exactly. So he says, where can I recognize? Because what happens when you recognize the divine in the Srishti? You get the Shakti also, the Bala also, the strength also for your sadhana as well. Recognize, imagine all the goodness of the world, you are meditating upon it. All the brilliance, all that is good. What will that leave you? Your heart will suddenly be filled with a lot of energy. And it is something like that that should drive, that should be our drive. It becomes a fuel for us to move on. So this is it. Krishna is saying it is like all vibhutis when Krishna said to Arjuna, Arjuna, you can't understand all my vibhutis. There are far too many. You will probably go old and you'll have to take so many more births, but I'll still not finish telling you all my avatars, all my vibhutis that are existing in this Bhuloka because they are innumerable. I'm just going to share. Chalo, theek hai, Himalaya. You can meditate upon Himalaya. When you look at birds, look at Garuda. I am that. Look at the Lion King among kings. If you want to see weapons, I am Vajra. Your Gandiva is there, yes, but there is something stronger. Look, that is Vajra. Vajra is that. Maybe call upon the Vajra strength inside of you. So each of this is important. So you can meditate upon it. But now, if there is just one word which is equating all the great good, all the great vibhutis, all the great strength of the divine consciousness, that is Sat. Sat is the word. So if you just like you say x equal to y equal to z, something equal to this, like that, Om, Tat, and Sat. Use this combination. Om, focus on the Brahmanar. Who knows what experience you will get? Each person gets a different experience. Somebody has got an experience of fire, somebody has got an experience of ice and cool feeling. While meditating, one person felt the person was floating in the middle of the sea, just meditating. Well, each person will have a different experience. That's why we're not going to talk about this is the experience you must have. We don't want auto suggestions. We want a lived experience for each of us. So this mantra is enough. Om Tat Sat. Equate Om with the supreme Nada, the first Nada of creation. Tat is referring to the Brahman himself. Supreme Brahman, the Brahmic consciousness, which is everywhere, which is eternal. Connect to that. And Sat is connecting us back to the Bhuloka, connecting us to all the goodness in the Bhuloka. Why? This is the Loka where we live, isn't it? And this is the Loka where we are going to do karmas. This is the Loka where we are going to do our sadhana. So this triple mantra is this, is what Krishna has said. Krishna goes on, Yajne tapasi dane cha sthiti sat iti chochate karma chaiva tadarthiyam sat ityeva vidhiyate. In penance, sacrifice and offering, he who is firm, such a being's actions are in Sat, one can confirm. Again, if you connect with the higher consciousness, scriptures will only confirm what your actions are according to the Shastra. You don't have to study like people, advocates say, according to rule this, Article X, Article 15, Clause B, Clause C, Clause D, whatever name, they have to search the clauses and then say this is right. But if you see somebody who is experiencing injustice, that person can understand this is injustice. And the spirit of law is to uphold justice, and the person will be able to challenge even the best of lawyers by finding the right clause because the spirit of law is also for upholding justice only. So that will be the direction. Something like that. When your consciousness is right, you don't have to start calculating, am I doing sattvic action, rajasic action, tamasic action? Is this dana correct or is this dana tamasic? You will know it when you are in that consciousness. So do dhyana to understand. Meditate upon this triple mantra. Let that repetition go on the inside. Krishna says, such a being's actions are in Sat, one can affirm. Holding a fundamental view in doing the right actions, performing austerities, sacrificial offerings, and oblations. Many times people say with the right bhava, they say without tamas. They do it perfectly according to Shastra and still offer avahanam न जानami visarjanam, pujam chaiva न जानami, shamyatam parameshwaram, mantrahinam kriyahinam, yat pujitam, mantrahinam kriyahinam, bhaktihinam sureshwara, yat pujitam maya devo, paripurnam tadastu me. I'm offering with full sincerity. देख लेना प्लीज थोड़ा सा मंत्र में कम हो गया थोड़ा सा भक्ति में कम हो गया it is not intentional with full namrata because again that bhava is important but a tamasic person will not learn mantras and purposely use this shloka only that will not give the punya isn't it the person is not trying to learn it's just out of laziness there is no humility there is laziness which is driving a person's actions instead of that do with full sincerity and accept that there might be faults because I am a human I have so many faults correct it your grace will help eliminate these faults also so hey bhagwan help your help is needed that bhava will automatically ensure you don't get rajasic ahankar and also tamas guna will not enter inside of you when we are connected with this namrata, this inner, what we can say, humility. So with this, we go to the last shloka of this adhyay. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam krutam chayat asat ityuchate partha na cha tatpretya no iha. Penance, charity and sacrifices by the beings ill-informed. O Arjuna, without faith, when they are performed, they are termed asat and detriment the soul's progress. And neither in this nor the next world do they bring success. So again, Krishna has come back to Shraddha. What will you do when you do something without faith? Anybody? How will that action be when you do an action without faith? Either in the action or in the objective.
It's mechanical.
It will be mechanical. It will be unconscious, isn't it? It will be faulty. So, Karthik ji, yes, I think since you are in the business field, you interact with a lot of people, is what I understand. So you have
That's
to
right.
get work done from people, isn't it?
Correct.
When they don't have any faith, they don't have to say it to you, isn't it? It reflects, isn't it?
Yes.
How do you identify, or what is it? Just so that we all get a better idea, sir.
So it's more of body language than
Hmm.
what they're actually saying.
More than what they are saying. And in the karmas, in the actions,
Lack of interest.
lack of interest. A label is stuck upside down.
Yes.
Isn't it? So that is a direct indication. It is a direct indication that chalo, there is no Shraddha. Somewhere, something is now taking that mind away. I said, Amliji in our factory has made a rule. Everybody come, whichever dharma you are, it doesn't matter. Sit in front of Ganesha and meditate for some time. Then the work begins. And no fighting allowed inside of the factory. Voice increases, person goes out. That is the rule. So nobody fights, at least in our presence. And Damleji also is there on CCTV camera all the time. So they are also having full Shraddha and a little conscious also. Sometimes when full Shraddha is not there, then fear comes into play. Ki, "Arey, I will get scoldings. At least for that reason, I will not do wrong. But let me be conscious. But in sadhana, Shraddha is enough. Bhaya is not required. We can become God loving without God fearing also. Call upon God as your Sakha, your
I think I
Mitra.
should apply that rule at my place also.
Ah, yes, sir. Actually, it's very useful. In our place, it is actually in the village. A lot of people had the habit of, shouting very loudly. And one of the first things I had to do was I had to speak to them in their language and tell them not to shout. So when I told you're not speaking properly, one staff came and asked, I need a holiday. I said, why do you need holiday? I am going to go to the village and learn from the elders how to speak. That was absolutely making fun of me. Who are you? You are not a native speaker, and you are coming and going to teach me how to speak. That was the insult. But eventually, then everybody has now become used to it. We say, why are you speaking to somebody and is that person 10 kilometers away? The person is sitting next to you. Why do I need to hear from another room what you are talking to that person? Slowly, it changed. But as you said, it is good, sir, to have it actually. Damniji set it up, it became a discipline. Correctly, at that particular time, everybody comes and begins. So the baggage of the home is left outside before entering into work. It helps in consciousness of a person as well.
Correct.
Yes. All right, Ji. Hari Om. So this is something. So without Shraddha, whatever you do, it will appear, isn't it? You make a chapati for somebody without any Shraddha. Hey, I have to make for this person. Unnecessarily, this person came right now. The shape also, it will not look like the globe. It will look like Australia or Africa or some other continent. Because the Shraddha is not there. Your action will immediately reflect lack of Shraddha. Same thing is with what Krishna is calling. He says, you're not having Shraddha, your actions will not be in Sat consciousness. It will be Asat. And what happens with Asat? It does not allow progress. It will not allow you to evolve. It will not make you a better person. And Krishna says very firmly and clearly, and neither it is not going to help you here. It's not going to help you in another realm also, another loka also. Which loka are you looking to evolve when you are not going to evolve on Bhuloka itself? Bhuloka is the loka where gods aspire to take human birth. It's like here the karmas burn more quickly than anywhere else. The Bhagavan also wants to take birth on this Bhuloka. For what reason? The same thing. This is a special yoni. Manushya yoni is that having that potential for rising. We can rise to the state of divine. Maybe as Sri Aurobindo says, we can rise higher than devas also. Because devas also one way they have become typal beings, isn't it? They have evolved and become into one particular mold. But a human being can rise. So again, this is something very interesting. So Krishna says this, that this is asat. When you are not in that right consciousness, every action will bear that mark. So with this, the 18th adhyaya gets over. Again, Krishna concludes, he says not in the 17th adhyaya gets over. Krishna concludes that if not in this world, then which other world? Many people aspire, I am doing so much, so I should get something better. I will get at least 3 BHK in Swargaloka. No, it's not like that. There is a very conscious, karmic cycle taking place. Your karmas are going to take care of you afterwards also. not just in this world. But if you don't do karmas, forget the other world. This world only you will not experience, as we saw in previous chapters. Naraka enters into our life. So with this, we enter into 18th Adhyay. Again, there is Arjuna's question. Thankfully, we have one more Adhyay because of Arjuna's question. Like I said, if I was there, most useless thing it would be. You would have only one chapter where I would first Adhyay, try like Arjuna, say this is not right, this is not right, I am unhappy. What should I do? Krishna would say fight. I would say yes, sir. Over Bhagavad Gita, no discussion. But look at Arjuna, he is asking questions. Let us see his questions because we get a chance to learn. And through Krishna, we get an opportunity to grow just like how Arjuna also grew. Arjuna Uvacha. Sannyasasya महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुं त्यागस्य च ऋषिकेश पृथक् केशिनि शूदना. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, O Krishna, O Lord of everything, every being, I wish to verily understand sannyasa's meaning and also the fundamentals of Tyaga. I need to know what the underlying principles are. Please show. This is what Krishna is asking. Is being asked by Arjuna. Tell me, what is the tattva of sannyasa? What is the real inner essence of what is true sannyasa? What is tyaga also? I need to know. I need to understand the underlying principles because now Krishna talked about dana also. So what is this tyaga? What is sannyasa? This is something I need to know in essence, is what Krishna is asking. My simple question is, we all heard about sannyasa, isn't it? We can easily identify sannyasis or not? Can we identify sannyasis very easily in life?
That is mainly because of their appearance.
Yes, sir?
I think that is mainly because of their appearance.
It's mainly because of their appearance. All right. Karthik ji says because of their appearance, the robe, the number of centimeters of beard, probably. All right. Dr. Sarupa ji is saying something? Yes. Hariom? Is it?
Me, no. But
I'm sorry, please. I muted you by mistake, madam. Please unmute and repeat, ma'am.
yeah, I just wanted to say, appearance is a person in appearance. A sannyasi appearance may not be, a real sattvic person or a real sannyasi, whereas someone else who is not dressed as a sannyasi or doesn't look like and has a beard also can be sannyasi from heart by heart. Yeah.
Okay.
that's-
Yeah, absolutely. Perfectly said, Dr. Swarupaji. Because Sri Aurobindo also has told that it is very easy to identify by an outer token and garb, no, a sannyasi, but a traditional appearance. But Janaka also was a sannyasi, isn't it? Janaka Raja was a sannyasi, and even Narada, the great Muni, was fooled. Narada was fooled about his sannyas. He did not realize it until he went close and understood. So there is something in the essence what is a sannyas, and sannyas is what Miss one of Damleji's.
Yeah.
Yes, Suresh, you want to say something? Okay, yes, sir.
We need to understand what is sannyas. Then if we have to move with the person to understand deeply what is he doing, then only we can understand whether he's a
Yes,
sannyasi or not.
yes, absolutely, sir. Just
We
like
have to live with him, or we should have some transaction.
Lakshana, we need
Then
to
on,
understand. If we know the tattva, we have the tattva
Mm.
both of what is sannyas, then we can identify. We can identify when we like indications are there, isn't it? Like litmus test. You can say whether it
yes,
is at what we can say a solution is alkaline or is it acidic. Just like that, is this sannyas? What are the lakshanas? Just outer robes outer appearance will not guarantee. Many times people take us for a ride because of that. So what is the real essence? What is the tattva of sannyas? That is something which Krishna is asked by Arjuna. It's a very right question. Same about Tyaga also. What is this Tyaga? What is this real meaning? That is what Arjuna wants to know. So this is interesting start for the 18th Adhyaya. And this is very important also, because if we understand this essence, I think we will, because Krishna has already told about what is sannyasa in the previous adhyayas. There's one chapter where Krishna talked about it. But now it will go a little deeper because Arjuna is ready. And then after we go on further, we will understand there is something called fate, there is something called free will. And how, what is the story between fate and destiny? Can you rewrite something? Or is everything predetermined? I think Sureshji also asked the same question as well as somebody else. Many times when people ask it on the first adhyaya, I feel like I should answer it, but I have to wait till 18th adhyaya. But most of the time, the people who ask me in the first adhyaya don't stay till the 18th adhyaya. So I'm never able to tell about it. That is unfortunate. But this is the chapter. But so many things Krishna has to tell that to Arjuna. And then Krishna is going to also say something very funny, which will make us laugh. Ki, "Arey, if this Krishna already knew, why did he take 18 chapters?" I think we'll have to only understand. There might be some yojana behind that as well. Because all this, if he had just told it in the first adhyaya, it's the second adhyaya, the entire Gita would not have been required. But Krishna wanted Arjuna to understand. And this is something which a lot of great gurus have this. They want the other person to rise and become them. Damleji says, my Shishyas should become better than what I am. Like they say, Baap se beta savai. In like that, Guru says, Shishya must go ahead of me. That is the aspiration. Just now, Sri Aurobindo also, how he would interact with everyone. Nobody knew in the correspondence. You see, 40 years he was, I mean, nobody does this. Sadhana, where a person is easily, he could have become the, everybody were already respecting him so much. Yet he withdrew into a personal sadhana. Only selected shishyas who were part of the core sadhana were able to correspond with him. And in correspondence with each person, he was different. A different facet was visible. Everybody called him the non-smiling saint because they all remember his photo in the Surat split, his words which are fiery, and it's like he is the one who doesn't smile. But then in correspondence with Sri Aurobindo by Dr. Nirodharan, there's so much laughter in every reader's hearts looking at the comments and the way he is making rising. Dr. Nirodharan was a doctor, FRCS, who had come to serve as a very young boy. He had come to the ashram to meet Sri Aurobindo and then got inspired and started serving there. One of the first things he was told was to go to carpentry section. Why will a doctor go there? But no, learning about Swabhava, with what is one's Swabhava, how to use the sadhana, outer aspect, inner aspect of life. And slowly, Sri Aurobindo is for Dr. Nirodhan, he said, Sri Aurobindo came to my level and lifted me up. That was his experience. Well, let us see. That is what Krishna is doing in the Gita, isn't it? Continuously with Arjuna. All questions which Arjuna is asking, he's saying, yes, you are right. But understand, when he talks about Sthita Prajna, it's not possible, or he says too difficult. He says, no, it is Chanchalam hi Manah Krishna. He says, yes, I understand mind is Chanchala. But with Abhyasa, you can tame it. With practice, you will become perfect. So try. So many examples, so many things. Well, this is actually the most beautiful adhyaya, the 18th adhyaya. It is the culmination of the Gita. So you will actually see a beautiful summary of 18 chapters, of 17 chapters which were preceding. You will see lots of connections. Maybe you can only note down because these connections and your notes, they are going to help you the most. The notes that you take are going to be with you forever and it will be your commentary on the Gita. I think that's best to experience, isn't it? Than somebody else's. So, all right, with this, we will conclude. We will conclude with the summary. Anybody, if you can summarize what we saw today, then we'll look at the Shanti Mantra and we'll continue 18th Adhyaya on Monday. Yes, please. Anybody? Would you like to summarize? Yes, sir. Yes, Chaitanya ji. Looking forward. Yeah.
Yeah, so today we started when we discussed about our sadhana and tapasya. So we said that we need tapasya for our sadhana to progress, and with that, dan is also important. Maybe Shramadan or Vidyadan. I think in a way, dan helps you build your tapasya, because you are putting that effort in that. And when there are three types of dana that was described: sattvic dan, which consciously looks at desha, kala, and patra, that is where you are doing it, to whom you are doing it, and at what time you are doing it. So that is done consciously and without any expectation of returns. Rajasic dana was something that is given by intention of getting something back, or maybe some ego, and it's kind of looked at as an investment, as you said, that what I'm going to get in return of this. So it may be possible that the beneficiary may get something out of it, but I mean that is a kind of rajasic thinking that is behind it. So it may also attract the wrong interest, as you had explained, and it may also get you into trouble. So, and the third one was tamasic dana, which is actually bhaktihin or mantrahin and pointless, just purposefully going against the logic or truth, and it is not even considering, I mean, that desha, kala, patra thing, that and not looking at it as in consciousness. So yeah, so the intention may not be good also when you are doing the tamasic dana. Then we looked at the mantra that was given by Krishna, Om Tat Sat, where Om is the Brahmanad, is the Anad of creation. Tat is that Brahman, that supreme consciousness, and Sat is that Sattva, the purest truth, or Ritam, that essence of higher consciousness, or which is there. So Krishna said, you will need to experience these mantras, and you need to realize this. And yeah, this is what you can say, that Deeksha that Shri Krishna has given. Also, regarding our actions, when we are actually connected to divine, our actions will be like what scriptures are defining, that how you should perform your karma, what your karma should be. They will be like same. I mean, they will scriptures will kind of confirm what you're doing, and in a way, they both will tell you the same, when you're connected with the divine. Then we talked about penance, charity, and sacrifice. When they are performed consciously with shraddha and right intention, they are sattvic, and they help in our progression towards that sat. But when they are done without any shraddha or with wrong intention, they don't help to progress. If anything, they only obstruct it, and they lead to asat. So, and they won't help in any loka. So that is where we finish the 17th adhyaya. And then after that, Arjuna asked Krishna, what exactly is this sannyas and tyaga? He wants him to make him understand what is the underlying truth in both of these things.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
नहीं यही हो गया था, hang हो गया.
Yeah, so one thing is this is important to know the tattva, because we learned, isn't it, that even the great Muni, who is an exalted Muni, Narada Muni, even he was oblivious to the sannyas of Raja Janaka. And I think we're all Krishna wants us also to become like Raja Janaka, isn't it? Strong mentally, strong physically, strong financially also. Why? Then we can bring transformations in the world. We say, no, money is source of corruption. Let me run away. You're going to give more money into the Asuric hands. We do not want to do that. That need of transformation of the world, it will begin with a lot of people with a Devi Swabhava who will start bringing about changes. Because Gita is that, because it shows, no, how many Pandavas and how many Kauravas. They are able to, so many, even despite being outnumbered, the Pandavas are able to stand, because it is not in the numbers, it is not in the quantity, it is in the quality of a person. And that is important. Each individual can become so powerful, so strong, that each person can start a dharma pantha of their own. That is the power of our Sanatan scriptures. So we have to realize it, we have to connect to it. So let us see what is this 18th Adhyay. Many people have different experiences studying the 18th Adhyay. Some people feel, hey, what is this? Krishna has not told anything new. I'm seeing the same thing which is there, but in a different light. Or some people feel that this 18th Adhyay is absolutely different, and it is something which is answering a lot of questions also. But I think we will have to look at our own experience. So let us see when we enter the 18th Adhyay and as we go ahead. So next week, our sessions will be hopefully completed when we cover all the Adhyayas, all the shlokas. There is something called 19th Adhyay also. That is very special of Krishna's Butter project. That will also be looked at. We'll have to see what is this 19th Adhyay as well. So, all right, with this, let us conclude with a Shanti mantra. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं जय श्री कृष्ण Any queries? You're welcome, or we'll conclude.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Yes, sir. Suresh, wants to say something. Yeah. Please unmute, sir. Please unmute.
The word Om.
Sorry?
The word Om.
The word?
Om.
Womb.
Om.
Om. Okay. Om.
I read somewhere that it takes one's lifetime to understand that one word, Om. Madhvacharya has spent a lot of time, entire lifetime on it, and he could not understand fully. Something,
That is
is it
humility,
right?
isn't it? That
Is
the
it right?
humility. Definitely,
Is
he
it?
understood so much more than us, isn't it? Each of us. And yet he is saying, I do not know. Because this is a speciality. You study Mandukya Upanishad, you will see not only three parts, you will see a fourth dimension. Means Om, and then there's the Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, Chaturtham, Manyante, Sa Atma, Sa Vigneyaha. The fourth dimension, that is Om. If somebody reads Mandukya Upanishad, they will see ki, wow, it is just talking about Om only. Or it may not be wow, it will be, oh no, what is only about Om. But if you study one more Upanishad called Muktika Upanishad, it is said that if you understand Mandukya Upanishad, Mukti is yours. That means only 12 shlokas if you want to study. It's so easy, isn't it? Gita has 700 shlokas.
Yeah.
If we are doing with aspiration of Mukti, 12 shlokas are easy to read. But problem is, reading alone does not make a person conscious. Reading is not equal to realization. Reading is gathering information. Then when we do Chintan, when we do Manan after the Shravan, then that information gets processed into understanding. Then after understanding is lived, it becomes a realization. Many times people mistake information for realization. That's the problem. Many times in today's age, we have informational age, isn't it? Ask anything about, ask your AI tools. They will start describing things you don't know. But what you have is only information, not realization. Rightly said, sir. It's worth realizing. Try to connect with Om. Each one will have a different experience. In Dhyana, we can connect to it. I remember one moment I was feeling I was falling deep into a pit. I didn't realize what is happening only. And suddenly I'm watching my own childhood, youth, and old age all happening so fast. I was not able to understand anything. Even today, I don't know what I understood. But then let the time come when it has, and understanding has to come. Our efforts need not stop. Yes.
Many times I felt whatever you're saying, sometimes it goes over my head. Not that don't misunderstand,
No,
not
sir.
that
It
you're
even goes over
telling
my head
in a
also.
not you're telling in a simple manner, not complicated manner.
No, sir. No,
So
sir.
I'm able to understand, but not internalize the whole thing.
No, sir, that is probably because you have so much more experience in this Janma, so much life experience. So you are relating it to all of that. No, so afterwards, who knows? Because it is said, like for me, when I first touched here in those books, I could not understand head or tail. Absolutely, I read the few lines and I was like, "Hey, Bhagwan, when will I understand it?" The Amriji said, "Learning is a continuous process. You don't have to worry about understanding it. Just read. Time will come when the understanding comes." So I would say, sir, probably the experience that you are having, that only is one of the reasons you are trying to connect it. You have lived much more
I
than.
read, I read my notes 2 times a day to
Yes, sir.
understand better.
So your notes, maybe tomorrow you write a book, I will learn and understand from that book.
No.
That will be wonderful. Because you
No.
have each of us has a separate knowledge pool, different set of experiences. And probably Krishna is also up to some game only, no? Giving us so many different experiences. So yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. All right, sir. Ji. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Ji. Hari Om.